The Chosen Season 5, Episodes 1 and 2 are coming to theaters on Thursday, March 27th, and we already know what's going to happen. If you haven't rewatched Season 4 yet, let me remind you of how it ended before diving into the content of Episode 1 of the upcoming season. The final episode of Season 4 began with a flashback to David entering Jerusalem, greeted by people with joyful cheers. This opening scene hinted that the episode might end with Jesus' entry into Jerusalem, but the creators chose to leave that for the Season 5 intro. More on that later. We also saw the aftermath of Lazarus' resurrection. During his discussion with Pilate, Atticus entertained the possibility that Jesus might have actually brought Lazarus back to life. However, Pilate dismissed it as superstitious madness, showing that he wasn't yet ready to comprehend the growing impact Jesus and his miracles had on the people of Jerusalem. Later, during a gathering with Herod, Herodias, Chuza, and Joanna, Pilate even suggested killing Lazarus again. But Claudia's response made him laugh. Wouldn't Jesus bring him back to life again? Claudia became an essential character due to her dreams about Jesus and her inspiring scene with Joanna. This encounter ultimately led her to leave Chuza and join the crowds preparing to welcome Jesus into the city. That scene was powerful, two women who felt like mere props in the lives of the men around them, but Claudia told Joanna, if only they could believe as much as the Jews coming into the city to celebrate Passover, they would be more than props. This realization pushed Joanna to take action and do what was right. In Season 5, we'll see her fully join Jesus' side, changing her clothes and spending time with the other women in his group. What did you think of the Claudia and Joanna scene? Let me know in the comments. Who could forget the epic moment when Lazarus' sister, Mary, anointed Jesus' feet with expensive nard and wiped them with her hair, right in front of Shmuel and Yusuf? Even though Shmuel had come with an open mind to inquire about Jesus, he was pushed over the edge by what he saw. He hadn't expected a Messiah who would allow a woman to touch his feet, waste such valuable perfume, and address him as God. A similar reaction came from Judas, who believed the money should not have been wasted on expensive nard. In the end, we saw Judas and Shmuel coming together, teasing their future partnership in Season 5. Say whatever you want about this scene, but I really wanted Shmuel to be on the right side. It was heartbreaking to watch. What were your thoughts on this moment? Now, let's talk about the final moments of Episode 8 before moving on to Season 5, Episode 1. After Simon Z and Matthew found an unridden donkey for Jesus, all the disciples, along with Mother Mary, gathered around him in one of the most emotional scenes of the season. Jesus told his disciples that the time had come and asked if they would stay with him. Peter responded, "Of course, since you alone have the words of eternal life." Moved by Peter's words, Jesus told them, no matter what happens this week, no matter what you see, feel, think, or do, I want you to know that in this world, I loved you as my own, and I will love you till the end. Literal chills. I love those lines so much. As Jesus mounted the donkey, the journey toward Jerusalem began, setting the stage for where Season 5 will pick up. Of course, The Chosen loves to use flashbacks as intros, so do you think Season 5 will start with one? Let me know in the comments. The trailer for Season 5 already shows that the triumphal entry into Jerusalem will be an epic scene, with people cheering for Jesus and waving palm branches. I expect this to be a breathtaking opener. According to Matthew 21, this is how it happened. A very large crowd spread their cloaks on the road, while others cut branches from the trees and spread them on the road. The crowds that went ahead of him and those that followed shouted, "Hosanna to the Son of David! Blessed is he who comes in the name of the Lord! Hosanna in the highest heaven!" Watching this unfold on the big screen will be an incredible experience. But, of course, things won't go smoothly. The Sanhedrin will also witness Jesus' popularity and begin making plans to deal with him. We'll likely see a confrontation between Jesus and the religious leaders as he enters the city. In fact, one of them is even heard in the trailer saying, "Declaring yourself sovereign? Rome will descend on us all." Another major plotline will involve Jesus and his disciples finding a place to stay in Jerusalem. The trailers and behind-the-scenes footage suggest they will be staying at a wealthy person's house, but we don't yet know who that is. In Matthew 26, Jesus tells his disciples to go to a certain house and inform the owner that he will celebrate the Passover there. Some believe this house might belong to the father of the Apostle Paul, who is thought to have come from a wealthy background. If that's the case, we could even be introduced to a young Paul, who knows? What do you think about this theory? Let me know in the comments. Finally, there's the possibility of the cleansing of the temple happening in episode 1. However, I doubt they'll include too much in the season opener. It seems more likely to take place in episode 2. If they follow biblical accounts, Jesus will first visit the temple, observe the money changers and merchants, return home to make a whip, and then come back the next day to drive them out. I cannot wait for this scene. I really hope it happens in episode 1 or 2. What are your expectations for season 5, episode 1? If you haven't checked out my trailer breakdown yet, click on this video.